I'm Dr. Mireille Tribie. I'm the regional HIV specialist for UNICEF regional office based in Dakar, Senegal. So really, this is this experience at PAHLCA conference has been phenomenal. This is my first PAHLCA, although I know this is the sixth version. But really, it's the title itself concentrating, focusing on the response, HIV response, as it pertains to children and adolescents is very important and also very, very informative. There was a diversity of presentation focusing on needs, resources, and challenges that this very special population who are our children and adolescents face in this response. And as you know, as representing UNICEF, children are our business, and the fact that we are, as providers, as duty bearers, we are focusing more and more on what needs to be done, what is not working, but what needs to be done, but also validating our good practices so that we can scale up the good practices so that our children and adolescents, the data, the numbers that we're seeing that are not advancing in our region, certainly as the treatment coverage, the testing of children and adolescents, with knowledge and good practices we've learned from different models and certainly from the other region, East and Southern Africa, definitely is going to be very useful for us to really scale up and accelerate our interventions in West and Central Africa so that our children, our adolescents living with HIV and the ones who are not living with HIV are get the right information, certainly in the school system, for them not to become, not to contract HIV. So overall, this has been a very, very important conference for me to go back to my home office in Dakar, and also as a regional professional, I have a responsibility to exchange, to work with 24 countries in the region. So this is a wealth of information that I've acquired to be able to share the experiences and the information. Well, I wanted to talk about the takeaway. One of the main takeaways that's really resonated for me is the last presentation, the last panel we had with the young man from Vendiri in Zimbabwe. He's part of the CATS. They are peer educators and living with HIV. And hearing him speak and seeing how empowered the young people are to really help us to keep our mind where it should be. And I think this has had a real impact on me. And as far as the takeaway is to ensure that at least UNICEF, and also we work very closely with our co-sponsors, our sister agencies, UNAIDS, WHO, and certainly UNFPA, was an agency that focuses more on adolescent and young people. But within the UN system, we need to really start paying more attention. Don't get me wrong, intervention, education, prevention is very important, because to get to the elimination agenda of eliminating pediatric HIV and AIDS in 2030 is the objective. Well, prevention is of utmost importance, but we do not pay enough attention to young people living with HIV. And also the messages mostly geared to adolescents who are not preventing HIV in adolescent and young people, but we don't focus enough on the adolescent and young people living with HIV to make sure they can have very productive lives. And this intervention or this information shared by Vendiri, the young men from Vendiri, really brings it back home that we need to make sure that messages and we create systems that packages of services that really addresses the need of current adolescent living with HIV. And to answer your question, this is what I'm taking back to the office, making sure that the other countries in West and Central Africa really have programs that addresses the needs of adolescent and young people living with HIV, and certainly very important are the young girls who are positive and pregnant, and young women bearing newborns that have a potential of contracting the virus. They're also living with HIV, and making sure that they get comprehensive and holistic services, as we've talked about, so that they remain healthy and their newborns are born free of HIV. So these are the takeaways and my continued mission in the HIV response for UNICEF.